Hello, everybody, and welcome to another QualityGaming.com live stream. Today, we are going over Ultimate, Accelerant, and Apex Legend Mobile. We are going to make a tier list from the lowest priority up into the highest priority, and this is a community-driven guide. And what I mean by that is I posted a question on various social media accounts, and the answers from the community are what influenced this guide and how I broke down the tier list today. Without any further ado, let's get into today's list. Good night! Rangers might be a must-have in parties. I'm going to toss it over to you, Verenius. Do you feel like Rangers are a must-have in parties right now?
Little. I think this is the one that looks pretty good. Apparently, some of you guys don't think it looks that good. So I gave myself an 8.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Koala, and welcome to the Quality Plays Live Invitational number 3. We are calling. Everybody, welcome to the Quality Plays Invitational number 2. We are ready to go. We are doing the ultimate accelerant tier list. Like I said, we're going to be breaking it down from the lowest priority up into the highest priority. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about whether or not the ultimate itself is good or bad. I am saying whether or not the ultimate accelerant is good on this legend, or whether or not you should prioritize dropping it and giving it to this legend if you're not on that legend, or whether or not you should be picking it up if you are on a particular legend. Um, so I mean, I think we're ready just to hop right into it. So let's hop right over to the tier list. Let's get up on screen. I just want to check this real quick. Make sure all my stuff is up and running properly, and that it is. And let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, F class. Now again, this isn't whether or not the ultimate is good. This is whether or not using the accelerant is good. I won't say that again. Now that I've said that a few times, we won't say that again. I'm gonna aim my camera down just a little bit. There we go. And get the full view in there. All right. Oh wait. Let's do that. Gotta make sure I get my microphone over here. I was probably super quiet for that last little bit of talking. That's fine though. All right, so as I said, we are hopping in and we are going to do the ultimate accelerant tier list. We're going from the lowest priority. This is the people that you don't want to put this item on, or you don't want them picking up this item, up into the highest priorities. This is the person you want to give this item to. This is the person you want picking them up. First and foremost, F class, we are looking at none other than Loba, which is not there on my tier list. So we got to find a different tier list. Let's start over. Apparently I can't go back. We're going to do it this way. Tier. Tier maker. No, we don't go to tier maker. I'm just going to put Apex. One have it. Let's just see if this one has it. This one have everybody? Yeah. Oh, but it's not going to have the mobile champions. So this mobile one doesn't have It has Watson instead of Loba. All right, let me look one more time. I should have been a little more prepared for this. Oh, wait. Does this one have it? No, this one has Watson and no Loba, but it has crypto. That's a weapon tier list. It's an ugly Loba, but I guess it works. It has fade. Doesn't have crypto though. Can I create my own? Make a template. This is gonna be way too much work. Let's just go with this one, and we'll just use Watson in place of Loba. And that should have everybody. Right? Yeah. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Yeah, I should have enough. Add row below. It's gonna be F. All right. So let's do this one more time. Excuse me. All right, let's hop into it for real this time. All right, as I said, we were going to be doing the ultimate accelerant tier list. We were going from the lowest priority, the person you don't want picking up this item, the legend you don't want to be giving this item to, up into the highest priority, the legend you want to give this item to, and the person you want picking up this item. And first and foremost, in the F class is Loba. I know this is Watson. We don't have Loba on this tier list, so we're just going to roll with it. Loba is the F tier, and that is only because although it is very good to be able to pick up items from all over the area, and you can use that in the middle of a fight, you're more likely to be using it in between fights to get prepared to go into a fight, as opposed to, you know, finding shields or health or ammo in the middle of a fight. Yeah, you could do that, and it could turn the tide of a battle, but the alternative is the cooldown is so low that it's going to be up fairly often, and it's not a very high priority to give the accelerant to them. So Loba is the only person in the F tier. Moving on to the D tier, we have Mirage, Octane, and there is no Fade. So Revenant is Fade. All right, so the reason these legends are in this tier is that one of two things. It's either that they have a low cooldown, or their ultimate is either more a single person ability, or it is an ability that is going to be less influential on the greater scheme of the fight. Again, these are still ultimates that could change the tide of the fight, but overall they have a lower cooldown, and the priority of them being available in the fight is not as high as some of these other ones. And again, you have to remember, a lot of the time this is situational. So like for Mirage, it's very personal. It's an ability that is going to change the tide of the fight, but it's something you use mostly for yourself. Yes, there is skills and skillful ways you can use it to give your team the advantage, but overall it is mostly a personal ability. Octane's ability, on the other hand, is something that can give your team the opportunity to flank or to reposition and move all around. The thing is that it's also available to the enemy. So it's both, like, it's a double-edged sword, and again, it has a lower cooldown than a lot of the other ultimates, so using the ultimate accelerant is kind of redundant at that point. Moving on to the, what is that, FDD tier, we have Pathfinder and Wraith. Now, these are two that are in this tier because they have a higher cooldown than some of the other abilities, but they also are a little bit of a higher priority because they give your team very big movement flanks, much like we talked about just with the Octane. This is like an amplified version of this, where you can get across an entire big chunk of the map and make either a third party or a flank, or get away or reposition and set up traps, and all these fun things that you can do, or these skillful things that you can do. So they are a little bit higher priority for ultimate accelerants, but there's definitely other legends that are, if they're on your team, are higher priority than these ones. So these ones aren't so bad, but they're still not quite on the priority where we want to feed ultimate accelerants into them. Moving on to the B tier, we have Crypto, Caustic, and now I'm realizing we don't have a Rhapsody. So Rhapsody is also in this tier. So again, in the B tier, we have Crypto, Caustic, and Rhapsody. The reason I put these ones into this tier was because they are champions that are directly going to influence a fight. When Crypto is up, the ultimate is up, you can put down a shield, or you can break the shield, at least 2 plates on an entire team, and that can completely change a fight. Same thing with Caustic. If he gets it down and then puts down gas trap on top of them, on top of the ultimate gas trap, it is going to be very hard for the team that you are facing to get away. And it is a very strong team fight oriented ultimate. Same thing with Rhapsody. Having the ability to put up a wall that gives you cover while blocking the sight of enemies on the other side, including scans, is a very strong ability, and it's good to have it up as often as possible. It does have a shorter cooldown than the other two in this tier, but it is still a very strong ultimate that you should have priority on. But again, there is still a few that will have higher priority. Moving on to the A tier, we have Bloodhound, Bangalore, and Gibby. Now, these ones are much like the other ones in the tier below this, are legends that are directly going to influence the fight. I know that there's a mixed reaction when it comes to Bangalore, but I think it's because people are like, oh, it's easy to dodge his ultimate. And that's not quite what the ultimate is about. It's about positioning. You can push a team into this spot or that spot by throwing down these massive AoE bombardments, both with Bangalore and Gibby. And it is very strong. And you want this up and in many team fights as possible. And then you got the other side where you have Bloodhound, who's going to pop the the hunt, and just be able to scan all over the place nonstop. That is such good information for your team to have constantly. You're going to know where everybody is around you constantly. It is a very strong ultimate to have up, and it has a 3-minute cooldown. So speeding that up and having it for multiple fights is a very strong thing. And if you end up getting third party and you have an ultimate accelerant, it'd be a very good thing because you can just scans out immediately again and go on the aggressive almost immediately. It is a very strong skill. And like I said, it is a high priority for me to get the ultimate accelerant on these 3 legends. And now we have, last but not least, we have the S tier. You can see it right here. It is going to be Lifeline. Now, Lifeline is at the top for multiple reasons. First and foremost, the care package that Lifeline can bring in can have some of the best items in the game. It can give you all the heals you need if you're struggling to find shields or syringes or health packs. And the reason I have it at the top is it has a 5-minute cooldown. It is the longest ultimate cooldown in the game. And if you're feeding ultimate accelerants into Lifeline, you're going to be having a care package almost after every single fight. That means you're restocking, you're going to have health, and you're going to have the advantage going into many fights. So Lifeline is the sole S tier ultimate accelerant in this ultimate accelerant tier list. And that's pretty much it. I am going to be writing an article to go along with this. So this is our tier list here. I know Rhapsody is missing, and I know that Revenant is actually Fade, and Watson is actually Loba. But this is the tier list here. When I put it up on videos and stuff like that, I will fix it up and I will make it look a lot nicer. But we are looking at my tier list for priority here. And as I said, this was a community effort where, let me bring up, here we go. And we want Apex Mobile Reddit. Here we go. This is not the right one. It's the other one. It's this one. And then I need to look for, you just scan. I'm sure it's not too far down. Actually, it probably is at this point. This thing does get a fair amount of posts. Is it? No. Apex Mobile is full of cheaters. Tap strafing. I should have just searched. We're gonna search. Right here. Should be. Here we go. Here's my post. All right, so let's look at some of the questions here and compare it to what I said versus what the community said. Let's look at all 26 comments. For me, it's Lifeline. I think at the moment her ult has the longest charge time, 5 minutes according to the wiki there. I'm very thankful that this person posted the wiki because I went there and there's a lot of good information there, specifically for the mobile stuff too. And I was able to find all the cooldowns for all of the legends, and that influenced a lot of my decisions. We have another one here, Lifeline. Her ultimate is very long cooldown, and it helps to gear up on the early game. Gibby and Bangalore, their ultimates have pretty long cooldowns, and they completely change the tide of a fight. Bloodhound, he's pretty much underrated pick, but his ultimate is a game changer. World Edge is going to be back, so his pick rate is going to increase because there are a lot of buildings. That is a key thing that made me put Bloodhound very high up, is that World Edge is coming back, and you're going to be wanting to scan as much as possible. Lifeline, Bangalore, Gibby, and Caustic. Bloodhound also, and Crypto's the MP. Caustic don't even need it much. His ult is pretty fast, and that's pretty true. And his tactical is quite similar to his ult. On mobile, it charges 35%. That was a good thing to know. Top three for me would be Bloodhound, Rhapsody, and I can't think of a third, but Caustic, Lifeline, and Wraith maybe. Bloodhound, their ult is a speed boost and a constant radar scan, but they have a consistent UAV. Rhapsody, her ult is a lot better cover than Bangalore's smoke. Also, it can counter smoke, her smokes too. That last sentence is a little weird, but Loba has one of the fastest ultimates. Oh, this person said Loba at first, and then they changed it. And then I think Gibby is one because the ulti is amazing late game. It can either be used to enter a fight or to deny space from potential third party. That's what we were talking about with both Gibby and Bangalore. Wraith is another one. Her ult has quite a bit of a cooldown, though not as long as Gibby's. I believe the third place is the four-way tie between Bangalore, Rhapsody, Lifeline, Bloodhound. That's pretty similar to what we had in no particular order. Bangalore kit is centered around creating space for your team to work with, so you please try not to smoke yourself unless you are trying to res someone or to heal up. You're hurting your team more than you are helping if you do otherwise. Rhapsody's wall is really good, and surprising amount of people don't know you can destroy it by shooting the middle. That is a huge thing. I talked about that in one of my guides as well. Lifeline's care package can give your team some good upgrades. It can give you some cover. Work within the late game armor swap if needed. That's good too. Armor swap is a good thing to to think about in the later parts of the game. And Bloodhound, ulti with scans coming every often, and extra speed coming in clutch sometimes. Should other legends like Watson come into the game, she would likely take Wraith's spot, but at the end of the day, Ult excels on high cooldown legends, and that's what it comes down to a lot of the time. Lifeline, Caustic, Gibby, Bangalore, Gibby, Rhapsody. If you have teammates like Gibby, Bloodhound, Caustic, Lifeline, and Rhapsody, if you have any of these team, you should be giving it to them. Tell me you don't know how to use Bang's ult without using Bang ult. That was the response to something else. And then depends on your team composition. For example, if you have crypto, you know there is a caustic. At least one goes to the crypto for EMPs. Bloodhound is priority IMO. It just gives much better with ultimate. Fade is a good option too. It gives escape. So the only reason I don't agree with that is Fade's cooldown is very low, which is why I had it lower on the priority list. Rhapsody, Gibby, even Caustic, his cooldown is reduced, so it's lower priority. Again, that's what I said. Lifeline works early mid game and get your team full of purple or loot it. It's not worth probably later, but again, we could do like armor swaps and stuff like that. And then the best ultimate accelerant is Mirage, and that's it. There we go. All right, and then this person said, I believe I always give my ultimate to Bangalore. Anyways, so that is what the community said, and pretty in line with what I have on the tier list. Let's take a look at it one more time. So we have Loba at the bottom. I know it's Watson on here. When I put it up on YouTube, I'll edit it. And then we have, so let's do this one more time. In the F tier, we have Loba. In the D tier, we have Mirage, Octane, and Fade. C tier, we have Pathfinder and Wraith. In the B tier, we have Crypto, Caustic, and Rhapsody. In the A tier, we have Bloodhound, Bangalore, and Gibby. And in the S tier, we have Lifeline. There we go. There's a bunch of good audio bits for me to use in the videos. I'll edit that all up, and we'll talk all about it when we get down to it. This was a lot of fun. I really like getting into the nitty gritty, and I really like the community getting involved. And that's what I am going to be focusing on for the most part. I like to put out these questions, ask the community's opinion, and then build a guide based around that. And then not only learn on my own, but learn together as a community. Because even if we come up with the wrong answer, we're going to learn together, we're going to get better, and we're going to improve, and we're going to move forward in not only my community, not only the bigger community, but the community of the games that we enjoy playing. And that is the whole goal of qualitygaming.com. It is all about mobile gaming. It is by mobile gamers, for mobile gamers, and it's just a ton of fun doing all of this content.